all had that conversation about fear.
Yep.
and the just understanding, okay, so the fear may be, oh, I gotta go hunt for business again. I haven't had to do that in a while. And what does that look like now? And how do I feel about it? And why am I scared about it? So speak to some of that fear, Kim. What are some of your fears?
It really hit me yesterday initially in this whole conversation about going after whales. You're going after that whale realtor. And I had to really dig in as to why every time I would hear that, I would push back and go, oh, that's just not my people. That's not the kind of person that I'm going after. That's not my ideal client. And I thought about it. I thought, why am I so resistant? Why do I have that fear? Where literally I tried to write a thank you or like a note to a whale agent, and my hand was shaking and I couldn't even write. Yeah. I thought, this is ridiculous. I've been doing this for a long time. Why am I so scared? And then I started thinking about that whole whale thing. And I realized that I look at it, I have this vision in my mind of like Captain Ahab with a spear, where I have to kill and conquer, and that fear of drowning and my boat being overturned and all of those other things. And that just all was feeding into the fear. And then somebody posted on Facebook in the Rhino group. So you have to share that, because that was a pivot for me this morning.
Well, so I'll even reframe it by going back a day. So yesterday I'm on all of the coaching calls, and we were just talking about, really, you got to think of this as we're now going on a hunting excursion. And I say excursion because that sounds a lot better to me than a hunt. Yeah. Because I'm not, really, I'm more of a gatherer. But at this point, we have to hunt. So it's an opportunity for us to really figure out who we want to hunt. So you've identified a whale as someone you want to hunt. And so then the question is, how do you want to hunt? Like, what tools are you going to gather up and take with you? And how are you going to use those tools? And then how are you going to find the whale? How are you going to find whoever it is that you're hunting, and why? You got to understand why you want to go. I mean, why a whale for you, Kim? Why are you thinking that you need to go after a whale?
Well, I need to go after people that have the systems and the processes in place to do the business. And we've got systems and processes, so that when I really put it into perspective, that it made more sense to me that this is the kind of person that I will work well with, because they're doing in their business what I'm doing in mine.
So this is just another frame for that too. A word that came to me today is community. And when I look up the definition of community is the fellowship of others with a common interest or goal. So a whale to you is part of that community, because your common interest is systems and processes that help the process of buying a home easier for the buyer and the seller, because you have a system and process, and you have a common goal, which is to help buyers into homes.
So when you just said that, the word pod came to my mind. That's another way of reframing. And I like that just as much. And that just adds to it. We're all part of the same pod, because whales travel in pods.
They travel in pods.
Okay. This is like really exciting.
So that was my thoughts yesterday. Let's really break it down to something we can visualize and wrap our mind about and get excited about, because how cool is that? Now we get to pack for an excursion. We're going to go on a hunt. And so what tools are we going to take? What clothes do we need to pack? Because we got to be able to weather all of the storms. Do we have the shelter that we need for it? Do we have the food that we need to be sustaining as we go on this excursion? So, really thinking about it as a hunt, we're planning a hunt. So you got to get your pen and paper back out now and plan this hunt. Mm-hmm. So if whales are who you're going to go hunt, you need to also understand your prey at a high level. So that's why whenever you said whales, that your biggest fear is you need and want to go after whales, but your fear is really, I mean, when I boil it down, what I hear you say is your fear is rejection by those whales who you feel are bigger and better than you. And so why would they even call me back? Or what am I going to say whenever I do get on the phone with them? So to get over that fear, you got to understand your prey a little bit more so that you're more strategic with the things that you say or the things that you do to get to that whale. So then put yourself in that whale's shoes. Okay, if I'm a whale and you are a whale, Kim, so it's easy for you to say, okay, I have processes, I have systems, I have a calendar that I keep. I'm very strategic with how I spend my time. So if someone wanted to get my attention, how would they get my attention and what do I want to hear from them? That's hunting with your tool and being very strategic about how you're going to go on this hunt.